Welcome back to Barricade Rides, videos for motorcycle enthusiasts. We're at my favorite place in the world, Emerald City Harley, located in Lynnwood, Washington, and I'm with my buddy Dave. He's going to show us this beautiful 2021 Harley Davidson Street Glide. I showed up today with a plan. I'm going to do these bikes and this bike, and this thing completely destroyed all that. So once we get the up close look at it, you'll see exactly why. This is my favorite color of 2021. Roll that intro and let's check this bike out.
Guys, welcome back. Barricade, thanks again for coming in and doing another video with us. I just love doing these with you. It helps me learn the bikes better, and helps me really understand why Harleys are just such a cool brand and why I love representing them. So as you mentioned in the intro, this is a 2021 Street Glide Special. This is the first year Harley Davidson has done two-tone paint on the Street Glide, and wow, it is impactful. It used to be when you saw the Street Glide with a two-tone paint, you assumed it was a CVO model, but not so this year. This color is amazing. So this is a new color for 2021. It's Gauntlet Gray, and it's got the good old-fashioned vivid black. Can't go wrong with that. It's the one color that Harley makes every year. This pinstripe, only Harley would think to combine a gray and a black with a bright blue. I don't know if it's Superior blue, if it's a Zephyr blue. I've been looking and trying to research the colors on the pinstriping. Haven't found it yet, but it really just pops. It really just kind of helps separate those two colors, gives the bike a little bit of life. And of course, the pinstriping done at the factory, it's all paint and it's all under the clear coat, so it's going to stay in as good a shape as the rest of the paint on the bike. So I just think it's absolutely stunning in this color combination. So, Street Glide Special. The specials this year do come in either blacked out or chrome. That's something they changed this year. It used to be in 2020 and before, if you wanted the special, you had to go with a blacked out frame, engine, exhaust, all the accessories. Now you have an option. This one is in the blacked out, Milwaukee 8 114 cubic inch, air-cooled, V-twin. It is a powerhouse. People are really amazed at the power this engine produces right off the showroom floor. No modifications. It's got great power, and it only goes up from there as you do your customization, stage 1, stage 2, etc. It already has the heavy breather, air intake, and that means that you can do a tune and slip-on exhaust, and you've got stage 1. You don't have to replace the air cleaner. 6-speed transmission, as all big twins have been for 15 years. It's got these awesome cast aluminum wheels. I love these spokes. I love the way it looks like a spoke wheel, but it's got the ruggedness of cast aluminum. It also means you can run tubeless tires. So you're running the tubeless tires on the front and the rear. These are the Dunlop. They're a dual compound tire, so they wear a little bit harder in the center where you're putting most of your time on your bike, but then you've got the little bit softer shoulder that's specifically made for Harley Davidson touring bikes by Dunlop to Harley Davidson's specifications. This bike also comes with twin rotor disc brakes up front, a single in the rear. ABS is standard. This bike also has RDRS, so that gives you cornering ABS, it gives you hill hold assist, tire pressure monitoring. It gives you like a limited slip in the rear. So really great performing bike. Those features are not there because you need them. They're there because even great riders at times run into situations where they're a little surprised. So all it does is make a really good rider that much better and that much safer. So great options on this bike. Of course, the Rushmore upgrade in 2014 included things like the one-touch bags. I have the clamshells on my bike, and man, do I like these. They're so much easier, so much cleaner.
I love the Harley Davidson written on the saddlebag right there.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, and the way it flows from the bag up to the side cover and then up to the tank, it's just gorgeous.
That's
Even
the
the front fender.
very first thing I noticed.
Oh yeah, it's very CVO-esque, right? It's definitely a custom, you know, a factory custom paint job. The other thing we're doing is on the touring bikes now, we are installing here at Emerald City the quick release hardware for sissy bar, for backrest, for luggage rack, even a tour pack if you wanted to order one of those and stick it on here when you're going touring. They also changed the configuration of the tank. Last year you had the fill up here on top of the tank, and it was a little bit bulky, it looked a little bit cumbersome. So what they did was they streamlined this, cleaned it up quite a bit, and they went back to the single fill on the right hand side. It's the high side, so when the bike is on the side stand, you know you're getting maximum fuel into the tank without having to shake it around and do all that stuff people used to do. Of course, one of the really nice highlights of these bikes in 2018 or 19, I believe it was, they updated the screen. So now you've got a system that does stuff like what you might expect on your phone when you're navigating. Of course, the navigation's not ready yet, but you can actually do pinch and zoom, pinch and so like you want to see where you are.
Take the next left onto Washington 99,
zoom in.
Highway 99.
Pretty awesome stuff. You've got your music, AM, FM, you've got your navigation, and then you have your phone. This one doesn't have a phone paired to it yet. And then, of course, you can use the joysticks. You can go into your settings for your music, your audio settings. You can go back home. You can go into your trip computer here, engine information, tire pressure, another like a trip summary. This is more on the performance of the bike. This is more on kind of what you've done. Gives you a heads up speedometer if you want that. Of course, on the Street Glide, your gauges are up top anyway. The other thing I love in the navigation, these are made for touring. If you all of a sudden realize, man, I've hit my 5,000 miles, I need to get a service, go right down here. It'll tell you where the nearest Harley Davidsons are for service. And
Nice.
yeah, very cool. It'll also do medical attention, it'll do lodging, food, and gas. As a matter of fact, this bike, if you're riding along and your bike is a little low on gas, it'll pop up a message, hey, you're a little low on gas, would you like to find the nearest service station? How handy is that when you're riding through Montana? You don't know where the next exit is, right?
Nice.
That combined with the fact that you can monitor your range and your consumption and all that, you really have a pretty good idea of exactly how far you can go on this bike before you need to fuel up. So on those long trips, that's awfully handy. Really cool. The headlight on this, now all of the touring bikes, except for I think the standards, come now with the LED daymaker. Massive brightness, so much more visible at night. Not only does it help you see better, but it helps you to be seen better, and that's so important on a bike. Love the way this is set up. Another couple things about this bike. So the Milwaukee 8 now comes with something called EITMS, and that is Engine Idle Temperature Management System. If you come around here, Kyle, I can show you. I'm going to roll forward on the throttle for about 3 seconds, and we'll see a little symbol come up here. Right there. See that orange flash?
Yeah.
Right here. I'm going to do it again. Now it's going to turn green. So that system is now active. What EITMS does is it monitors the temperature of the engine, and it monitors the ambient temperature outside. If you're going through Leavenworth on Labor Day weekend and you're at that area where you sit through that light 10 times, anybody that's ridden through there that weekend knows exactly what I'm talking about. Air-cooled bike, it's not moving, it's getting a little warm. So what it does is it senses that engine gets up to 300, it shuts off the rear cylinder, and it runs on just the front cylinder. The rear cylinder, obviously, is right below where the rider is, right? So you cut this off, all the temperature, all the heat is out front. This bike will just idle on one cylinder, When you start going again, you hit the gas, it'll kick in that rear cylinder. Just a really nice feature to allow these bikes to continue to be air-cooled, you know, true to the Harley heritage, but it keeps the temperature down a lot for the rider. And that system is armed, and once it's active, it stays active until you change it, no matter how many times you cycle the bike on and off. It's like a semi-permanent setting. You can turn it off, but I like to leave it on. I think it's a great feature.
And I like how they have the low profile crash bars installed.
That was new this year. They went to the low profile, kind of cleans up the front end a little bit, but still gives that protection for the bike and the protection for the rider.
And still put highway pegs on it.
That's right. Highway pegs there. You got these nice pegs for the passenger that match the floorboards, the brake pedal, everything kind of ties together. Just a beautifully put together bike. This 2-in-1-2 exhaust, it's factory, but it allows a lot of airflow. It's still really good performance. Some people like the quietness of the factory pipes. Of course, you can repipe this with any number of manufacturers out there that make the blacked out look. But man, right off the floor, this bike is so nice to ride. Showa suspension up front, adjustable rear suspension, fully adjustable. You got numbers so you can kind of memorize with a passenger, without a passenger. You've got different settings, and that's as simple as just removing two little hand levers back here, swinging the bag out, adjusting your suspension, putting the bag back in place. Couldn't really be much easier. Back in the old days, you had air pumps, you had all kinds of different ways to adjust that suspension. People would lose the pumps, the airlines would develop leaks. None of that here. This is all mechanical, all pretty foolproof. So really, really good stuff.
All right, there you have it. 2021 Harley Davidson Street Glide Special in the two-tone paint. Absolutely love this bike, and I'm sure you can see exactly why I let a Street Glide wreck my plans. And if you're ever looking for a bike and you're in the area, hit up Dave at Emerald City Harley in Lynnwood, Washington. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this content. And as always, brothers and sisters,
stay safe
and ride your ride.